Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world of Wayne. Happy Wednesday. Today I'm going to be doing stages 15 to 20 of the Deagostini Collectibles release of Build the International Space Station. So we're doing 6 stages today, and guess what? We got a free gift in this one. Now, in occasional packs, we do get the binder or the actual storage box to actually put the magazines in. But today, as you can see, I've got some patches. Let me show you these. So they give us an instruction guide of how to put the patches on, and these are just iron-on patches, so we don't have to sew these on. They've got this sticky material behind that when you iron it on, they'll actually go on your clothes. So you've got the NASA one there, and you've also got this NASA one here. Now, I also want to thank Steve Powell for getting me this NASA t-shirt. I believe you got that from Houston. Steve's based in Texas. He bought me a massive Texas mug as well. I'm telling you, it holds like, I don't know, 5 pints of coffee in it. So that's in the house at the moment. But Steve, thank you very much. He did actually buy one for Mrs. Welder Wayne as well. But she's actually at work today, so she can't model that. But we are going to be doing these 6 stages today. Now, if you want to get this for yourself, I don't know if it's still available. You will have to check in the video description, also a QR code on the screen. I'm very happy with this build because if you remember in the last pack, I had made a mistake, which as you can see here is perfectly fixed now. So we shouldn't have any more problems, but we'll see that now. So without further ado, let's get cracking. Okay, so just so you know, this is how we ended the last pack with this part here. So I've got stage 15 here. Let's have a look through the magazine. This is everything that you could shake a stick at regarding space knowledge. But we're going to be doing some more parts of pretty much what we created by the look of it. So at the end of it, it's going to look like that. This looks like quite a quick stage. What is this that we're actually doing? We're discovering the fascinating universe of the International Space Station. Doesn't tell me what part I'm actually building. It just calls them peace. So I do rely on the community to tell me exactly what I am building. I haven't got a clue. Hey, at least I admit my misgivings. I really do not have a clue. If I don't know, I'll tell you I don't know. But as you can see, there's not many parts in this at all. In fact, there's no screws or anything in this stage. So I'm guessing everything is just a thing that needs to be pieced together. So we are going to be taking this section here, looking like that. And I've got this clear window section that's going to go in. Now, it goes opposite sides, probably best on the top camera here. So we can actually push that down into position. I'm just checking that's in the right way. It looks like it is, and the windows do match up, so I'm guessing that's in exactly where it needs to be. Then the only other thing we're doing is putting this hatch on, which basically just pushes into the side here, all the way down like that. And then that just leaves this part here, which looks like a corridor tunnel or something, but we don't actually do anything with. So that was an absolutely amazingly quick stage. So in stage 16, again, here's the instructions. Flicking through the magazine. And again, we've got this part of this looks metal straight away. It looks like another part of this, what I'm guessing is a corridor, because on this main unit that we created here, this is sort of like a connecting unit there. We've got some screws in this one though. So we are going to be adding both pieces of what we just had to this and adding what we just created in the last stage as well. So it's looking like that. And I am right. This is metal. Very chunky bit of metal actually. And as you can see, all the decals are already on this here. We've got the NASA logo there. Excellent. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be taking this area of the connecting tunnel, which is going to go onto this metal section there. You see it fits completely over there. That's perfect. We are then going to be putting the other side of this over the top like this and holding them together with an MS4 screw. Now we are going into metal. I will put this into some oil, and I'm just having a little chuckle to myself because look, we've got some R screws in this one. That's never going to get old, I'm telling you. Okay, let's get this together and screw that down nice and tight. Perfect. So I've closed the seam on both sides there, as you can see. I'm then going to be taking what we've just created in the last stage, and this is going to be going this way round into the holes here. So I'm just lining that up. There is a certain way round this goes. Just checking it now, because they appear to have this hatch section just here, nearest to this decal here. So I'm going to be using some R screws here and screw that into place. I'm just taking this hatch out because looking at the picture, it really does look like they've got it round the other way. I'm just going to check the picture out again to what I've got. And yeah, definitely, they have got it round the other way. So I did have that in the wrong way. Look, it should be in that way, like that. See? Amount of mistakes I make just by looking at pictures. But I have fixed it. That's in. That's all there is to do in that stage. So this is stage 17. Let's look at the magazine. Again, each stage comes with its own magazine. And we've got something that looks like a grenade. I'm guessing this is another module. We've got some details that's going to go on the outside of that. So just a case of piecing these two together and putting these details in the outside. Then we get to mount this into what we've just created in the last stage. So here we go. Here's all the parts. Now, most of the parts in this are metal. These, though, are plastic, just so you know. So it's going to be a case of just actually putting both of these together, clipping them in. So the lugs are actually holding that into place. And then we've got some details here to go on. And again, the instructions are just referring to them as details. They're not telling me exactly what these parts are. So I do need to get these in, though. So one is going to go this way, kind of at an angle like that. And then the other one is just going into this slot on the side here, like that. And then, making sure they're not going to come out. That one wants to come out. I'm wondering, should I glue them? I'm thinking I might glue this. Just seeing if putting it in the other way. No, I'll put it in the other way, and that does hold it in. So I won't need to glue that. As you can see, I can hold it by both of these. Going to bring over what we've been creating. And this is going to be going into this side here, down the channel, just like this. Now, I don't know if there's a certain way this should be going, because they're not showing me the other side here. So I've tried it that way. Doesn't fit very well. Let's try the other way. Fits perfectly. So there is only one way this can go in. Now, I am holding that in with an MS4 screw. I've still got some of them left over from last stage, because for some reason they sent 2 spare in the last stage of each screw. So screw that all the way in so that's nice and tight. No wobble in there. That's all there is to do in that stage. So in stage 18, here's the magazine. Flick through this. And we are going to be it's probably the other part to close this section off and some details here. And that's exactly what we're going to be doing, putting the details on. And then we're actually going to be bringing the stand over and mounting all of this to the stand. So that's going to be pretty interesting. So by the end, it's now looking just like that. Now, I do have the stand on standby. That's very good. I like that. Okay. So what I'm going to do first is bring over what we've created and close these two parts together here. So this is just a case of putting them in like this, making sure everything lines up so I can snap it in just like that. Then I'm going to need these MS4 screws. I need 3 of these. Again, going into metal, so putting them in some oil to attach this together. So 1 in here, probably best on the top camera. And then just 2 here and here. So this is the last one going in here. Now we've got a couple of details to put in to hide these holes. So I'm just going to get them out here. The first one is this cross section here, and what they've got, if I just have a look at this, you've got a notch in this side here which is going to go over the lip there, so this can only go in one way. Just push that all the way down, and now that hides that screw hole in there. Very clever. Then we've got these two which are going to be going into either side here, and again there is a notch which is going to help you guide putting these in. So one this side here, snap that in. Whoops, it's so heavy. It sort of off balances in your hand. And I've got one more just to put into this side here, which goes in perfectly and hides those screw holes perfectly. Right, let me bring over the stand. I don't know if you remember this. It looks like this. I'm going to zoom out some of my cameras. And I've put on what we've created just onto the stand there, looking like that. Now, in the instructions, they've added the other solar panel into here. They haven't asked us to actually do that yet, but I do have that here. So I am going to put it in. And if we do need to take it out, I will take it out again afterwards. So as you can see, I have put that in, but again, they hadn't told us to put that in. So it's in, and they can both move around, as you can see. Excellent. So I have really had to move the cameras around. So what we've just created here, I am going to be putting just over this section here. So it goes into the channel just here and slots all the way in just like that. That's going to be held in once again with one of those MS4 screws. You will have to hammer that down a little bit to get that all the way seated in there. And then that screw will go in no problems at all. Perfect. So this section is facing towards this panel. And that is all there is to do in that stage. So the penultimate part of this pack is stage 19. Here's the magazine. And as you can see, we've now got some more details to put in now, which are going to be looking like this. We've got an actual new unit that we're doing, so we're not actually doing anything else with this unit at the moment. So at the end, it's looking like that. So I've got all the parts for that in here. And again, this is what that panel looks like here. Again, it's all plastic, but I do want to have it separated because this is two pieces. I want this piece first. I'm going to be attaching this section to the outside. It just follows the shape. So it's fitted in like that. Then it's held in from this side with, you guessed it, one of the R screws. Now that's screwed in all the way through the middle there. Then I've got what looks like some sort of satellite dish there, which is going to go into the groove on this side over here. Like that. Sits in to the shaped area like that there. Then I've got another one to put in, which is going to go on the other side. And this one's going right down the cavity there. So now they're both fitted in like that. Probably best on the top camera there. And then I want to close this up by putting this side over like that. And again, I'm using the AS5 screws to put this into place. Now I need 4 of these. So I'll just get one in just to secure this stuff at the top in. And there we go. So we've got 2, 3, 4. Now you can see that the cavities that we're putting these in will have a little cap to go over it. So it's going to hide the screws. That's what I really like about this build. That all the screws are hidden. It is very clever. So last screw going in here. And then all that's left to do then is take out these 2 caps that I've got. And I've got a round one first. Now if I have this way round, the round one's going into the top here. Push that in. Using my screwdriver to ensure that's all the way down and can't fall out. And then I've got a square one here, which is going to be going into this side here. And there is a raised surface on this, which I'm just going to line up, which ensures that it follows the line of this circle all the way around like that. So we have got 2 holes left at the bottom, but that is all there is to do in that stage. So in the final stage of this pack, this is the last magazine. Having a flick through. And as you can see, we now have another module that we're doing, which we're going to be adding a clip to this, attaching this to the module, and we are actually going to be putting this onto the space station that we've created so far. So it's going to look just like that. So get this pack open. There is quite a few little tiny details in this. And obviously this module here is metal. So taking what we've created here, I'm going to be putting in these gaps here, just pushing in this section. I don't know what it is, but it is going to hide those screw holes, and I do want to make sure it's down all the way in, which does take some doing, but there you go. That's how that should look. And then on this section which comes in here, we're going to be putting this in place. As you can see, we do have a notch in this side which is going to go in like that. It dictates which way round it goes. That's held in with one of the AS5 screws. I'm behaving myself now. I think there's only so many times I'm allowed to say the other word. Okay, so getting that just through the center here. So it's going to put that to one side now and bring over the space station. And again, I'm going to zoom out my cameras, because what we're going to be doing now is we're going to be putting this piece that we created in the last pack on. Now, this section here is going to be going towards the open section we've got there. So I'm just going to gently put that in. And this one, I don't think I need to hammer in. I will just give it a quick bash to see if I can get that in anymore. I think that's perfect, actually. And then to hold those in place, we're going to do what we've created here, which is just going to go over the top like that there. So I am just going to ensure everything's in place. That's looking really good. Now, I've got some MS4 screws here, which I'm going to use to hold these in. And if you look on the top camera here, you'll see that I've got 2 screw holes that I'm going to put these screws in. All that's left to do then is to fill these screw holes with these caps. One's got a notch in it, so that's going to go down this side here. Get it all in and then push that in, and then just do the same on the other side with the one that's a bit more plain, looking like that. It's going to go in here. And there you go. That's how that is looking. Pretty impressive, isn't it? Now, the only things that I think in this pack, we've got this part here and this part here, which are plastic. Everything else is metal, so this is quite weighty. And if I show you that against my head, because my head is the international unit of measure, it's looking just like that. And the stand holds this really well as well, but I think that's looking brilliant. Gently put that down there. I love anything to do with space and astronomy, so this is one of my favourite builds. Now, if you want to check if this is still available, I'll put a link in the video description, and there's also a QR code on the screen, but I really hope you like that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.